Hello people, welcome to Retro Video Games. And today I'm going to start this, obviously the title of this video is this Nintendo Switch is 1 year old, but today we're going to talk about the Switch arcade cabinet first, which is something I bought briefly today. And basically it is a fairly decent thing. I mean, here's a picture of it. It's this wooden thing. I managed to buy it. I'll put it on camera in a minute to show you. So I've got these are the dimensions of it. It's tied up with, it's like cardboard, kind of strengthened cardboard with a bit of elastic band. It's only like $10.99. It's as you can see, it's got the airflow and you can charge it, and it's got the all sorts of things with it. It's only obviously a £10. It's only a sort of show thing, but it's better than a conventional stand from what I can see. And it puts it higher, so it gives it that arcade feel. But I'm now going to go to the camera now and show you it in person. I'll show you at near the end of the video. But yeah, so this is only £10. It's not too bad for £10 for what it is. And oh dear, I'm losing it. I'll find the camera. Oh, I'll show you. Here it is. So as you can see, it's not a bad product from what I've shown you on here. And this is the exact product I bought. Right, now we're going to go to the actual Nintendo Switch. The Nintendo Switch was released in March of last year. It was a very good system when it released. I mean, obviously for me, the price point, I was one of the early adopters. I thought the price of $280 was a little bit steep. I mean, I think it had a pretty good first year, considering that the Switch opted to go with cartridges, the same as the same type as the 3DS cartridges, which were flash cards. I think the system's pretty nifty. I mean, you've got the Joy-Con grips, and then the accessory that attaches the Joy-Con grip. Obviously, the fact that it's a tablet form, the only thing that's bad about this console is the battery life is only 3 hours. But then the pluses are you can play the games on the telly, you can play games on the train, wherever, you know, in handheld mode, and it's not too bad. If you're not interested in Xbox One or PlayStation 4, then I believe this would be the thing for you. This is casual. It's just a gaming machine. There's no Netflix. There's no YouTube. There's no nothing. It's just purely about playing games. The games on it are fun. The Nintendo eShop the Virtual Console hasn't properly launched on it yet. I mean, you can get Neo Geo titles and a couple of decent games, but this system has made it I feel more comfortable downloading games on this, because you just type your code in that lot. It's more accessible. And plus, you can take it around with you. I mean, I'm not one of these people that takes the Switches. If I go on a bus or a long journey, I'm not the sort of person that would take a Switch with me. I've got a carry bag for it stuff. I just don't like the idea of carrying it around, because obviously it's £270 worth of equipment, and it's not a cheap bit of equipment. I don't want it broken. For me, the build quality of the Switch console itself with the tablet, the tablet's not particularly strong, but you know, it's all right. But I never play it in handheld mode. If I do, what I'll do is I'll put it in this arcade cabinet and then just use a Pro controller. I don't like to hold the Switch in my hands because I feel like I'm going to drop it. But I mean, some of the games that are released on it are obviously as launch titles. So go to the launch titles. Yeah, the launch titles was Zelda Breath of the Wild, which was a brilliant game. I still own it to this day. And then Switch 1-2, which was a game which I thought, well, it's not really a game, it's a novelty, it's more like a demonstration game. 1-2 Switches, you take it down to somebody's house or friends or family, you play it once or twice, and then you never pick it up again. I never play 1-2 Switch. I don't think it's very good. And then you had Skylanders, the Imaginators, which I never bought. Bomberman R I bought. Bomberman was a fairly decent fun game, but the price point of Bomberman was a bit expensive. Then there was Just Dance, which I'm not interested in, which sold well. Then I Am Setsuna. And one of the good things about the Switch is you can play a lot of indie games on it. I mean, the indie games on it are not too bad, but then some of the games you can get on the Switch, you can already get on the Wii U. I mean, for me, the price point of the games could be a lot cheaper. Whereas obviously the PlayStation is optical media, which is a disc, which is obviously a lot cheaper. But you should, and obviously with the lack of storage on the cartridges, you can't store as much on cartridge. Like, for example, games like Doom. How on earth they've managed to get Doom on the Nintendo Switch? It's quite an amazing. It's quite an achievement, really, considering it's only a small flash cart. I played the demo of the version, and I tell you what, it doesn't look too bad. Then also we've got and then Zelda Breath of the Wild was an open world game where you go around doing certain missions. I played it 4 or 5 times, spent 3 or 4 hours on the game. But, you know, it is a massive game. You'd have to put in like 200 hours to 200 hours just to complete the game. It's such a long game. And I haven't got the time to put it in, but lots of people have said it's really, really good. And they enjoyed it. So with the revision, at some point, they're going to have to do an upgrade of the Switch, you know, or do some sort of different things. Obviously, this Switch is killing the 3DS, but the 3DS and that handheld market will always be there. But as obviously it's year 2 now, Nintendo obviously want this to be their, you know, they don't want to have to do the 3DS. So if they can just roll this system out, I mean, could there be a future iteration of the Switch in the form of a 3DS? So if they were to make just a handheld version of the Switch, like that looks like the 3DS, that wouldn't be a bad idea. You know, so people that don't want to spend £280 on the Switch, if there's a cheaper version for say 130 or 120, that would be more feasible to other people. Like if I waited a year and they, you know, I mean, I probably will get another iteration of the next Switch, you know, when it comes out, but because I like Nintendo, because I'm such a Nintendo fanboy. So really, I mean, the Switch is decent for what it is, and that's just a pure games playing machine. You know, everyone that I know likes the system, and I enjoy it too. It's not a bad system. Right, so I was going to turn the camera on. You might be able to see. Here is the Switch. Here is the Switch arcade cabinet. I don't know if the camera's on or not, but if you can see it, it's pretty decent. Some of the Switch games I bought on release were Bomberman R, 1-2 Switch, and I also bought Street Fighter 2 Ultra, which was a remake of the arcade version and all the arcade ports. And I bought Super Mario Kart 8, which is an upgrade of the Wii U version. And I also bought one of the only realistic racing games on it, which was called Gear Club. So anyway, my thoughts on the Switch again, the fact that they haven't got a virtual console out is a downside. The fact that the cartridges, you can't get a lot on the cartridges, and obviously you have to use SD cards. When I bought a 64 gigabyte SD card, I mean, you can get 200 or 400 gigabyte SD cards, but you would have thought that, I mean, obviously the good thing is obviously with the PlayStation Vita, you had to buy proprietary memory, but with this you can buy any old SIM card for 128 gigabytes and it'll work. I mean, at the minute in mine, I'm using 64 gigabyte, and I've probably got 30 left, you know, because I haven't got that many games for it as of yet, because the games are not cheap. Anyway, people, thank you for watching the show, and I'll be back soon.